When you were born, it was ancient times, and there had never been a saint in our human race who could roam the starry sea. Because there were no saints, the human race was spurned by tens of thousands of races on other planets, becoming slaves and food for other races. You are not willing to continue like this. You practice diligently, increase your spirit and strength, and finally you have the power of a saint, becoming half a saint. You can absorb the power of the sun, create a spiritual system for the human race, suppress all races, and stand at the pinnacle of the world, respected by other races. But you are not satisfied with your current life. You travel the world and teach your spiritual system to all human races. Your cultivation system that is suitable for the human race has finally enabled the human race to stand up among all races and create a prosperous era that belongs to the human race. In the blink of an eye, thousands of years have passed, and during these thousands of years, your power has been growing. It is precisely because the stronger your power, the more information you can obtain. You no longer teach others and strive to cultivate alone because you feel something is about to happen. Sure enough, in the years approaching 10,000 years, you received apostles from certain forbidden areas. It turns out that their king needs to devour a large amount of life essence to survive, and their purpose is to persuade you to go with them. You despise them, refuse their request, the envoy leaves in anger, you look at the direction they disappear, your mind is complex, and you have a huge sense of crisis. Sure enough, a few years later, all the kings in the forbidden areas appeared, plundering the essence of life from various planets. At this moment, your cultivation has already been successful and you have become the existence of a saint in the mouth of all races. The kings of those forbidden areas have 5 people flying towards your planet together, preparing to devour all the creatures on this planet and plunder their life essence. The continents on the planet have been shattered, and countless creatures are howling. The greater the power, the greater the responsibility. You know your mission, and you fight against the kings of the 5 forbidden areas alone. In this battle, countless planets were shattered, and the universe returned to silence. At the cost of 1 arm, you severely injured the kings of the 5 forbidden areas. All the kings felt afraid and dared not confront you, so they could only return to their forbidden areas. And you have finally ended this dark turmoil that has been planned for 10,000 years. In this battle, you have injured your source, but you have also gained new insights. You come to a deserted planet, wanting to surpass the saints. Just at this moment, a legendary and powerful figure appears and kills you with a sword. You feel surprised and angry, but suddenly you understand something, but you don't have a chance. He devoured your essence, leaving only a dry human skin. You are buried on a deserted planet in the universe. Tens of thousands of years later, the human skin you left behind unexpectedly had some consciousness, which had only one belief. Build the 5-color array, return to your hometown, and cannot be buried on other planets. So, for over 100,000 years, you have been building formations year after year, day after day, but unfortunately, you only have a little consciousness left and cannot activate the formations. One day, a young man appeared on this barren planet. The young man opened the 5-color array you had built and took you back to your hometown. A beautiful blue planet, you will sleep deep in the ocean of the planet. After thousands of years, all living beings were crying, and the blood on the earth gathered and became rivers. Life is in sorrow, crying, corpses are piled up into mountains, and the once-in-a-million-year dark turmoil is happening again in this star field. The creatures prayed to the gods, but it was useless. They called for the saints but did not respond. Those families with an ancient history have thought of the legend that you fought against 5 kings alone hundreds of thousands of years ago, and have prayed to you one after another. You have heard the call of your people, although you have already died, your belief is to protect them. You appeared on the sea of your hometown, and a storm appeared on the sea. Your remaining human skin stood in the storm, and you heard the request of the creatures on your hometown planet. You helped them resist the power of the kings. Some elderly soldiers shed tears upon seeing this scene and said, "Saint, we human saints." Your skin is gradually expanding and returning to your previous appearance. In a holy place on the blue planet, a sword rushed out of the temple and flew towards you, which was your weapon of the past. You are suspended in the sky, guarding this planet. A king from a forbidden area flew towards you. He once lusted you and was very scared to see you. However, your power is not as strong as before. After all, Your power has long been consumed by mysterious people. The king in the forbidden area is afraid in his heart, and after fighting with you for a second, he is afraid to retreat. You want to hold a holy sword and fight against him to avoid him coming back in the future, but you no longer have the strength of the past. You turn your head to look at this planet that you once lived, grew, and protected, and your eyes shed blood. You will leave your final strength on your former weapon, allowing it to protect the creatures of this planet domain on your behalf. But he quickly withered and turned back into a human skin. You are a saint under the sun. He is someone who dares to fight against the king of the forbidden area to protect the human race with only one human skin left. You look at your hometown. I know it's difficult to say goodbye. I miss my hometown every day, but I've been dead for a long time,